Seems I have another 45 minutes before my Zoom starts. So I'm going to be tired. I've only slept, I had a little power nap there of about an hour and a half, but I was in Alberta when that came through. And when I converted the time in Alberta, it was 9 a.m. And here I get the alert about it today. I look, moved to 11 a.m. So boy, it's going to be a lack of sleep day. But I see people are logging on, and while I'm answering comments and I've had time, boy oh boy, lots of trolls, lots of problematic narratives coming forward, especially from what are classified as patriots, or so they would lead you to believe. Radical trollism, lots of fake profiles. One character I know absolutely who that is, and they are facing some serious troubles in Canada, all self-created. But I'm going to give you all some real stats here, because it's very troubling when people start saying, oh, the foreigners are all the crime, the foreigners. I can tell you all, absolutely, and you can find it on my timeline. I went to British Columbia, the Greater Vancouver area. I went into every municipality, went through their governing systems extensively. I spent 10 days there, January of 2020. It's on my timeline. The whole works. And interesting enough, I've gone through all the Canadian stats too, as my good friend John Carpe is over COVID-19. We get to see suicides, drug addictions escalate against COVID-19. Do you know what I do? I love statistics. I went to school, majored in economics. That's my educational background. Not trying to tout my own horn. It's what I went to school for. It was my trained profession. And I really enjoy math. I really enjoy economics. I'm very good at it. Did you know, Canadians, who commits more crimes than ever before? What ethnicity? Well, that would be your white Canadian. Do you know why that is? Because drug addiction is at an ever all-time high. Absolutely. More white Canadians, historical domestic Canadians of multiple generations from immigrant status, commit more crimes now today than ever before. And so are drug addictions at absolutely the highest. BC is a prime example. If you ever get a chance, go visit the BC Lions. Go around, tour that area. Go look at all the massive drug facilities there. And you will find lots and lots of white Canadians addicted to drugs, committing major crimes. I'm sorry. I'm of multi-generational white Canadian too. I could lie to you and tell you that it's epic proportions of immigrants who are committing massive crimes. Oh, sure. Higher immigration rates, higher crime rates. But unfortunately, it's white Canadians who are committing the most crimes. That's true. First Nations spend the most time in jail and get the most convictions. That's reality. But no disproportionate amount of crimes, just disproportionately convicted of crimes. You won't hear that from Jagmeet Singh or any of the other politicians. They love to watch all of you fall on your face, and they get to call you racist because you can't look at their stats. You can't digest the reality. And people like to pick their stats, not see them as they absolutely are. But that's the truth, Canadians. That's the truth. So my ICC is at 11 a.m. I'm going through all these things because I want to cycle all of the tremendous amount of ignorance off of my Facebook. I go through this periodically. Those who follow me a long time, they've watched Democrats come by the boatloads and just try to assassinate me. And of course, I have to clear out my Facebook. I've had the Republicans do it to me when absolutely Donald Trump fell off the wagon back in November of the 2020 election. He lost it. He tried to destroy and break the American Constitution. Not going to happen. I love Donald Trump. Nobody followed Donald Trump as long and as detailed as myself. But I'm a real constitutionalist, and I was the first to notice Donald Trump's behavior change. Did the left break him? Possibly. But regardless, there is no excuse for attempting to destroy the American Constitution or trying to usurp it. Donald Trump is getting what he deserved. Make no mistakes about it. There's nothing wrong with the American court system. Now, here in Canada, we have King's Court. There is absolutely serious problems with the Canadian court system. Absolutely. And I give that in real truth. But I can tell you, as all my loyal followers know who stayed with me a long time, I have predicted the American court cases one after another, not by accident. And so you all know, in America, it is the Republicans that hold majority of the Supreme Court in the United States by a whopping majority. And it doesn't matter Republican or Democrat, the court cases all are found in the same way, absolutely constitutional. You try to breach that or break it, you will lose. That's the tremendous strength of the United States of America. They don't have juristocracy, and on the other side, they don't have any version of King's Court, which could be classified as executive power over the courts. They don't have that in the USA. USA has a tremendous constitution that time and time again wins hands down, which is for the people, by the people, even when they don't know any better, even when foreign interests or domestic interests try to usurp it. And the American Constitution has one particular clause that always crushes every evildoer in the United States. No threats, foreign or domestic. That is just like the Second Amendment. That clause gives tremendous power to the people alone. Very few countries have that clause. Very few. There's a lot to teach Canadians about constitutionalism. You all need a tremendous amount of education. That requires the best experts in the world. The propaganda you face today is by none other than your politicians across every aisle. They're skilled at it. These parties have been in play in this crown colonial power for a very, very long time. Most of us are born into the system completely institutionalized. Everyone who immigrates here swears an oath to a foreign nation. That's not by accident. That's embedded colonialism. It represents all of your immigration. Don't be so quick to attack countries who aren't absolutely involved in your immigration. It is mostly the United Kingdom who has full sovereign authority over your country. They can abuse it through your dirty, corrupt, filthy politicians. So can France. So can France. Other countries will take absolute advantage of every Canadian because there's a wide open door policy. Pay the politician and you can have your way with all the Canadian people. That's what you're facing here. You're facing organizations with lots of wealth and money who will manipulate you and use you to destroy yourself. It's that easy when you don't have any kind of codified rules of governance. You have no real strength in any constitutionalism regionally whatsoever. Zero. Zero. You elect people to think for you, to go out on the world stage with zero accountability, zero rules of governance or how to govern. They can lie, cheat, and steal. They can take as much foreign money and fill up their pockets just as fat as they can, and there is nothing you can do about it. Because, again, there is zero accountability. There are zero rules of governance that forbid that. This is Canada. The sooner you all start understanding that and accepting this real, right in front of you truth, the better you're going to be. Now you can keep ignoring it. You can keep saying, oh, no, 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 it's somebody else's fault. It couldn't possibly be my politicians who have full authority over me and the entire country. Because that's the only power you, the people, have, is to vote every 4 years. Whoever you vote in has absolute full authority over all of you and the state of your nation or your regions. That is absolute. Now you can keep blaming everybody you didn't elect or who has no real authority in your country except those you've elected to give them that. Who is to blame? The more we keep bringing up baloney and keep eating that as much as we can, you become baloney. That's the truth. I try not to be mean, but I get so sick and tired of the same narratives coming forward by my fellow countrymen and women in complete ignorance to the reality of what we are. And until people start looking at it for what it is, you're going to continue to allow strangers to pull your pants down and rape you time and time again. And you're going to look at your politicians and say, oh, look at all these bad guys. It couldn't possibly be their fault, even though they give them the keys to your bedroom. They give them the keys to your house to come on in and do whatever they want with you. It is nobody but your absolute politicians. That's reality. Special interest groups, foreign, who send wolves into your midst. You will donate money to them. You will give them more money, even though your taxes go up, your standard of living goes down, the amount of drug addicts goes up in Canada because people are losing hope. This has been repeated all throughout the world. There are many dictators, and autocracies and monarchies that have fallen to this time and time again. What is and did lead to World War I and World War II. That is what Canada is tied into. Always has been and always will until you, the people, decide to change it. Now it's true. Many nations of the world must go through revolution. Historically, it's always been through revolution. Very few do evolution. However, in the last several decades, more and more, it's becoming the evolution. And Russia, the former Soviet Union, and USA absolutely did that as powers of the Allies post-World War II, 1945. They've done that for more than 85 countries in the world today. Almost half of the UN states. Not quite, but almost half. There's still 17 left to do. Canada's one of them. But Canadians don't want to ask for help. Canadians are fine with being exploited. Apparently, we have enough resources to continually be flogged until you reach the point of Venezuela, I guess. That's coming. That's coming. And sure, foreign interests will lead it, will use and abuse you, because they have sovereignty, they have their country and their interests of their countrymen and women first, not Canada. You don't even exist in your Constitution. This is real truth. Everything I've said to you can be backed up in real, hard data published by your government, shared extensively by your government, educated to any of you? No. Because again, the politicians use what they can to further their own agenda and fill their back pockets. You don't exist. We are a first, second, third class country. We always have been and always will. It was outlawed in 1945. King George VI got rid of it in 1952 for Canada, but Canada's Conservative Party and Liberal Party of the time, who've always had federal power, assumed it for themselves. Many provinces since then are learning that power, and they share it with whomever is elected Prime Minister. It is only by good graces and morality of politicians that you've ever seen any kind of flexibility in this situation. I don't know about any of you, but I don't bank on that kind of thing. I would rather have clear rules of governance, how to govern, and absolute accountability. Lots of you are searching for it, but in all the wrong places, in all the pitfalls that are absolutely laid out by those who created the system you're in. That's reality. You choose to share, you choose to follow. I go up and down over the years. My loyalist followers know I always grow. It's very slow, it's very tedious, but I get stronger and stronger and stronger the longer I go. But I get absolute great followers, and knowledge gets out even when it isn't popular, because I will never ever sell the Canadian people short. Not a minute, not an ounce, never. I will never compromise truth for popularity or to win an election. That is the Canadian way. That is the absolute corruption of the crown. Everything I hate and despise in this world today, I don't blame the world for exploiting Canada. I blame Canada for having the crown and exploiting all of you and allowing the world to walk in to your sovereign nation that should be but isn't, and exploit the living hell out of you. And worse, my own children and the idea of the grandchildren that may come down the road in time. And to be an old man looking at my grandkids suffering, and there's not a damn thing I could do about it. I will use this time while I have the strength, I have the breath in my lungs and the mind to do what I can to save my children today so that my grandchildren would never have to go through that. That is what I'm doing for Canada. That is my patriotism, because we don't really have any in Canada. That's the truth. It's all on you to share, get it out there, and you can be hurt feelings for those who, oh no, QAnon this, or oh no, the world's not like that. Oh no, Canada's good, it's everybody else's bad. No, you're one of the worst countries. And if you don't believe me, look at Venezuela. If you don't believe me, look at Iran. This history is all over the world. It's for those strong of mind to get out there and look at the world as it was historically and as it is today. And you will find Canada's the big loser. And it's by design. And the politicians don't want you to ever mess with their design, because they're getting rich and you're all getting poor. First, second, third class system. That's what your politicians hold on to. That's what they have. There are no First Peoples. There are no Canadians in the Canadian Constitution. This is not the way the rest of the world operates. Most of the rest of the world. It's up to all of you to change that. It's up to all of you to get smart and get smart quick. Sure, I would love to have a party up and running. Sure, I'd like to have everything in place. But Canadians, revolution, give me a break. You're such a minority now, you would never have a revolution. This evolution is the only thing that may be able to win a minority. But that is left to be seen, because so many would rather embrace absolute baloney, propaganda, than face the reality that it's their country, it's their broken system. They'd rather sing songs, "Oh Canada," even though that is not the legal system of Canada. Sad. People would rather believe in fantasy than actually face the real reality. And maybe that explains why we have such an absolute drug epidemic of addiction. And it's none other than your politicians who are to blame. Sanctuary cities and UN agendas, that is again absolutely your politicians. Your premiers have absolute full authority over every community and municipality in Canada. Don't blame Trudeau, don't blame NWO, don't blame UN, blame your absolute premiers. They have full and absolute autocratic authority over all municipalities and communities in Canada. Not the federal government, not the UN, not NWO or billionaires from foreign countries. Your premiers do. Analyze that, Canadians. Everything I give you will be 100% truthful, factual, verifiable, and honest. You take it as you want. You share, you digest it, get angry, slam, troll me. It's been done a million times. So many are so lazy to look at my timeline. You'll find I've gone through tremendous beatings, thousands and thousands of Americans calling me every name of the book, and my followers sat through it. My following went down. People, they don't always quit me, but they take a step back and go, ooh, Dave's going through it again. Tremendous shoulders. I've always had tremendous shoulders. I take beatings. Many of those same Republicans came back to me. A lot didn't, but the reality is the narratives are getting out there. We are changing. Little by little we change. I will never apologize for the truth. I will never, ever give a stage to liars, fraudsters, charlatans. Never. I don't care about popularity. Never have, never will. Time to go. That's my alarm. Get ready for my Zoom. Bye now.